Here we go. We got the big 60. We're new season. This is season 4. Let's check the feed out.
4 or 3?
No, we're in season 3.
4?
We have 20 episodes.
Yeah.
2.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Listen to Brain on Barrett.
That's right.
And I got the microphone
Now my
back.
mic's in. Okay.
There we go. You know what's awesome is listening to that as you plug your mic in. It's like, okay, here we go. 3, 2. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. This is Kinetic Chaos Podcast number 60.
60. Wow, that's like a Dennis Miller kind of a intro there.
Yes.
Yeah, he does that a lot. Yeah.
I am your host, Will, joined as always by my good friend, Wes.
Right here I am.
He is to my left. We are in the secret underground bunker, joining you at the beginning of season 4. Pretty dang exciting.
Yeah, they picked us up for another season.
I know, right? They totally renewed our contract.
Yeah.
Well, it was a long, arduous negotiation process. We went for the max. We settled for just under the max.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went well.
Some
Finally,
tacos.
Yeah, their people, our people. They sat down. They hammered it out over, like you said, some tacos and Bloody Marys, which doesn't exactly go together. But no, it was. We are excited for what is a rather. I mean, we just decided that there would be 20 episodes in a season.
Nice round number.
Yeah, just for the for basically for iTunes because they have seasons and stuff like that. So. Anyway, yeah, we had a freestyle episode coming up here. We're going to do a little, as always, a little hot sheet take. But yeah, this season 4. Let's reflect back. We got some time. What is your take on where we were? I believe March 7th was our first.
I know it was March. I don't remember the date.
Somewhere around there.
I remember us trying to share the mic.
Yeah, that was
a prominent memory.
It was. It was. Our lips were closer than they probably ever should have been. You and I sharing one microphone, and 1 microphone, 2 sets of DNA spitting on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, this microphone right here.
That's it. That's what started it all.
Yeah, it is. And now look at us. We're in a basement. We graduated from an office to a basement. So, but we've got like fancy. We can talk way up here. We can talk down here. And I found from listening to the audio from Monday's show that if you talk like this, you have to do a lot of work to the audio afterwards in post because
you got to get it right in front of your grill. Yeah,
yeah. It's these microphones really like it when we talk in front of them. So, anyway, well, what is something good that happened to you since Monday's fun episode talking about ballot initiatives?
That would be on Tuesday. We had our very first parent-teacher conference with Annabelle, and we were given very good news.
As if you thought she was going to be a troublemaker or something?
Exactly. So we... They had actually, towards the beginning of the year, they had brought in, because we had kind of tipped them off that she was kind of advanced. You know, she started reading and writing at the age of 2.
Yeah.
So we told them about that, so the teacher had a heads up. So the teacher had mentioned that she wanted to bring in some person that's in charge of the elementary school level curriculum for math and reading. Mm-hmm. Bring him in and give her a test, like pull her off to the side and test her.
Yeah.
So anyway... they did. I guess they did it right the first week of school, and they did it yet again like a month ago or something like that. And anyway, so we went over the results, and she is testing for her reading skills at the end of 2nd grade. So she's where the average person is at the end of 2nd grade. She's there now. And then for her math skills, she's testing at the beginning of 2nd grade. So she's basically 2nd grade level for both reading and math. So that's awesome. Is
there any talk about possibly moving her up?
We did. They said they prefer to, because what the cool thing is that they bring in a more advanced curriculum. And the other good thing is there's one other kid in her class that is at her level. So they've got them partnered up, and they basically have brought in extra work for them in 1st and 2nd grade level stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're feeding them that stuff and letting them work on that. And they've got a para-educator in the classroom, like a teacher's assistant, that works with them too, while the regular teacher, you know, kind of works with the rest of the class. So she is kind of getting a more advanced or the highly capable kind of stuff, so to speak, with this other kid in her class. So that's cool that she's got a partner to do it with.
Absolutely.
But they are bringing in more advanced material for her So she's not just doing the regular kindergarten stuff. So
now, is it something along the lines of the TAG or the Talented and Gifted? Do they have a program like that?
We submitted that. It's called the Highly Capable Program.
Okay, that's just what they call it.
Yeah, and so we submitted for that. And my understanding is, I'm waiting to hear back, is that they go through interview processes and the whole rigmarole. And then if they decide to accept her, it doesn't kick in until the following year. Is my understanding. I don't know if I read that wrong or not.
She's in kindergarten, so it's not like they're going to hit her with the hard stuff quite yet. But this is when you start to see that developing study skills is something that is very important and that they're going to work on. Mm-hmm. And challenging kids, a lot of times you see kids that need to be challenged because that's why they're acting out in class and things like that, because they're not. I mean, I know, not that I was some insanely great student, but I could finish the work quickly, and then I did. Luckily, I wasn't causing problems. Right. I was usually going around and helping other kids with their work, but I know with that's pretty common with kids that are really intelligent. They just need to be challenged. And
that's what we were concerned about. We talked to the teacher at the beginning of the year, and then also reiterated this on Tuesday night. And she assured us that she was doing that. Is that I told her, I want you to keep constantly pushing the envelope with her and make sure she's challenged. I don't want her to get bored and lose interest. So.
Yeah. And one thing I like about Washougal is that it seems to me that to this point they don't put the focus that Vancouver does on standardized testing. Life isn't about standardized testing. And so having that ability to look at things other than just marking, a multiple choice test.
Right.
That's not what life is. I mean, yes, we have options, but you can't just, the whole process of cramming your noggin full of worthless crap that you're never going to remember.
Yeah.
It seems to me with Derek having this real world class where they're going over taxes and typing and all that kind of stuff, it's a great thing. So anyway, something good that happened to me. Actually, I didn't bring this up last episode because I didn't believe it was rather apropos for the show we were doing. And that is that the Beavers had the third biggest comeback victory in the history of the Pac-12. They were down 31-3 to the California Golden Bears, and they came back, and I don't know how they did it. I unfortunately didn't get to watch the game. I was working and following the scroll on the bottom, and then I was following on Twitter. Well, then later on that day, I lost track about halftime, and because it was 31-3, I believe, at halftime, and my cousin. We have a group text between two of my cousins and I, and they hit me back. Did you see the Beavers win? I'm like, oh, BS. So I pull it up, bang. Oh my goodness, I about lost my stuff. It was amazing.
But I think even more astounding than the record-breaking comeback is that they won the game.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying the fact that they actually won a game is...
You're killing me, Smalls. Why you got to be like... No, what did you do? You behind my back? Yeah, UCLA. How are they doing this year?
They got one more win than the Bees do.
Yeah, that's not saying much. I just...
They're playing the Duckies this weekend.
I know, yeah. We may get into that in a little while. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I'm actually... What in the heck? Anyway, so yeah, let's get into a good news story. I totally had work take over my mind for a split second here. We've got a... homeless man in a viral video playing a piano has landed him a recording contract. That is pretty dang cool.
Pretty cool. This was in Sarasota, Florida, as part of a community outreach kind of project, or just a community project in general. A group set up some pianos, I think 3 or 4 pianos on street corners throughout the city that the public could just walk by and start playing.
Yeah.
And so this homeless guy happened to be playing, and somebody recorded him on video, and he was just an awesome pianist, was going nuts out there, and this video went viral online.
Really?
It was viewed in a matter of, I don't know, like just a few weeks or months or something. Like, it was over 1 million views.
Wow.
And so some record exec saw it, and they signed him to a record contract, and he has since played the Star Spangled Banner, the national anthem, on Monday Night Football. I think last year it was maybe for the Buccaneers. I can't remember, but it had to be in a Florida team if he's from Florida, I would think. But anyway, so yeah, he played the national anthem. They had a picture that he was sitting out there on a grand piano on the field playing the national anthem on Monday Night Football.
That is starting from the bottom. Yeah, you hear that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Wow. Can you imagine that though? Can you put your I always find it fun to take myself, detachment is a big thing in life, I think, that taking yourself out of your own shoes and putting yourself in somebody else's, and to imagine what it's like to maybe be sleeping under a bridge and then 2 months later you're sitting at Raymond James Stadium?
Raymond James for Tampa, yep.
That would be incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Big time.
Well, we got the hot sheet here. We've got a few, as usual, we've got to hit the hard stuff first, and then we'll get into the hot sheet fun here in a little bit. And first one here, we got that terrible plane crash off of Jakarta, and 2 months old was that plane.
Yeah, that's the really stunning thing about this. This was a Lion Air jet out of Indonesia that crashed shortly after takeoff, and crashed. The bulk of the wreckage is in about 100 feet of water. And as of this morning, they still hadn't found the black box yet. They were still searching for it. But yeah, as you mentioned, the big deal is that it was only 2 months old. It's a 737-800 MAX, which is Boeing's newest iteration of the 737. It's a long-range plane. And they had just taken delivery. It was 2 months old. State-of-the-art plane. So
absolutely,
why would, and as of this time, there's no knowledge as to why it went down. That'll actually obviously be discovered in time, but it's way out of the norm for a brand new aircraft to go down like that.
Yeah, and I think that they said that it flew its first flight in like July 13th or something, and then it was delivered August 5th, somewhere around that area. So only a couple of weeks of trials, and not that means anything, just in that it kind of shines some light on the process of taking delivery on an airplane that once it gets up in the air, it doesn't spend much time with Boeing. They get her shipped off and ready to rock and roll. So this airplane crashes are so few and far between now. It used to be a big thing back in the 80s where flying was a concern, but now it's so much safer than hopping in your rig and taking off down the road.
And that's what makes it just doubly concerning and weird, is that the fact that plane crashes are so rare, and to have it happen to a brand new plane is really, really weird. So
well, that's we'll see. Hopefully it wasn't a rivet popped or something like that, but we'll see. GE, we're if you're a stockholder of GE, you're not very happy right now because they are in trouble. They're dipping below $10, I believe.
Down below $10 for the first time in 9 years. The last time was during the old Great Recession that we had back 06, 07-ish and beyond. And they, to try to stem the bleeding, they cut their dividend, which of course is not going to make shareholders happy because that's less return they're getting. And the other thing compounding this, sending the stock price so low, is that the SEC and the Department of Justice have announced that they are expanding the probe into, that they already had ongoing, expanding the probe into some accounting practices that may be a little wonky.
That's so hard to believe that a major corporation the size of GE would have any kind of funny math that may skew their stock price. So we'll, when you read, like the article we were checking out for the story here, and to understand the money that is involved, when you see the B and the the billions, and whether they're charging off billions over here and they're saving $3.9 billion in cash over there, it is incredible, and how diverse they really are. How many arms or tentacles, I guess, for GE they really have, and they affect our everyday lives on a way that I don't think most people really understand.
That's right.
Number 3 here, old Whitey Bulger, he had a bad day.
His last day was his bad day.
Probably his worst day.
Yeah. So this, the notorious mobster, Whitey Bulger, was killed in prison. This happened in West Virginia.
How appropriate for Whitey to go down in West Virginia.
So he was 89 years old, and he had just recently been transferred to this new prison. And the suspect in his murder is a known mafia hitman. So that leads me to, why did he get transferred to this prison if they knew that there was a mafia hit guy, also serving time in this prison?
He just got there.
It's a little fishy. Yeah, it's a little odd.
Somebody's swimming with the fishies.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kind of a unceremonious end to his his career. But
his career.
I just thought that was kind of odd that he goes to a new prison, and there happens to be a mafia hitman also in that prison, and he takes him out in short order.
Oh, very well. I think they had 2 guys.
Yeah,
but this guy, I mean, the hitman was probably in charge of it. I wanted to expand on Whitey a little bit because in American lore, he's up there with the cream of the crop, the Al Capones, all of them, and he's been memorialized in The Departed, and which was loosely based on his life. And what else? What other movie? There was one other one besides The Departed that focused on him. But it brings up the question. We all have this, I guess, interest in bad guys and things like that. And he, almost not. I wouldn't say he comes off as a sympathetic figure because Nicholson played him really well.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Departed?
Yes.
But it just how we get kind of entranced by what these guys do, and they're horrible people. I mean, they're terrible, and I mean, and the fact that he got away for so long. I mean, was it 18 years he was in hiding?
It's a long stretch, that's for sure. Yeah.
And he just, and how they found him was pretty incredible as well. I mean, he's just at like a golf course or something. I mean, it was rather just mundane how they found him. But I don't know. It just goes into, I think it's why I like gangster movies and stuff like that. Or why I like villains so much. I love villains. They're my favorite, part of any movie is I'm always grading the movie based on the villain.
Yeah.
And it's that I don't want to be part of that, but I find it so interesting, again, the detachment and what it's like to live in their shoes. But I never can, I want to understand how they can do those bad things to other people.
Yeah.
And because I could never do that. Just have the complete lack of compassion or what it may be for our other humans. And so it is interesting. And when it comes to villains, it's more like not so much Whitey Bulger as Darth Maul or something like that. A fictitious villain.
Yeah.
Well, number 4, shockingly enough, California Medicaid has wasted $4 billion.
So more waste, fraud, and abuse for you. There's a shocker.
WFB.
That's right. So this, as you said, this is California Medicaid, the state Medicaid program of California, wasted $4 billion on improper benefit payments. This is between 2014 and 2017. This recent state audit has uncovered this. In one case, they mentioned in the article, they were making subsidy payments to a person's medical pension, medical account, 5 years after they had died.
I believe
they were
to the tune of $383,000.
That's right. Yep.
Or $385,000.
And
doesn't matter. What's a couple grand?
Exactly. Yeah. And the full numbers on this that we're talking about that the audit found were 453,000 people who were ineligible got benefits.
Yeah, that's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, having seen the waste that occurs in that kind of stuff and the fraud again.
Oh, big time.
You see what people, I mean, my biggest gripe is always if I go somewhere, and I'm not going to get into some tangent, but you go to some store and they're buying a $25 24-pack of beer, and then they're slapping down the Medicaid card or the food stamp card to buy the kids pizza sticks or something like that. That drives me crazy.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm not going to get into that, but it's again, waste, fraud, and abuse. WFA, not WFB.
There you go.
I totally screwed that up. Number 5 here, we've got some military troops that are heading towards the border, and that number could increase. We started with 5,000, and we could be heading towards 15,000.
Yeah, so when they initially announced this, 2 or 3 weeks ago, they started at 800, and pretty quickly it moved to 5,000. So that was the working number we'd been going off of for about a week now. And yesterday they announced that this could ratchet up to as high as 15,000. This is in regards to the migrant caravan coming up from Central America through Mexico and saying that they want to, come and seek asylum in the U.S. At last check, this was last night, they were still roughly 800 miles away from the border. And they are suffering from attrition now. There are a lot of people that have given up, and because Mexico has offered asylum to a lot of them. So there are a lot of people.
Yeah, because they're coming from Central America.
Right, they're coming up through Mexico. Yeah. So a lot of people have taken Mexico up on their asylum offer. So the caravan itself is not as big as it was. At one point, they had estimated it to be about 5,000 people, and then the latest estimate as of yesterday, they're thinking it's more like 3,500 now.
Really?
Due to the attrition.
Well, it's, I don't know. There's no answer for that. It's not something that you got to just kind of wait and see what happens.
Yeah,
I mean, they got 800 miles to go and probably a month, somewhere around there. The chances of, them getting 500 here, especially with Mexico offering them asylum.
Right.
It could be that we've got a military buildup for half a dozen people. I mean, really, it's like, it's like it's a complete overkill. But and we'll probably follow up on this and see. I don't know. It's not a good situation, but it's one that you got to be prepared for, and we don't know what's gonna happen. So one thing I wanted to mention as a 5B to this is the number of shootings that happened in Chicago last weekend.
Oh, I missed that. No,
it was another obnoxious number. I glanced over it, and it was another huge number. And so I guess as a little bit of a flashback follow up, that it's not getting any better.
Yeah,
and hopefully it doesn't get worse, but it's just they need to we can help it, but they need to get it together and find some way to just make it stop happening, because what's happening now isn't, I don't know.
Yep.
I don't have an answer for it. So well, let's get into something fun here as I knock crap over
as you kick the table over.
Exactly. We got freestyle time as we get into Friday. We got a big weekend of college football coming up. We got a good big weekend of the first weekend in November. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to run with it. Heaven or hell, daylight savings.
Oh, you stole number one from me.
I knew it. I did that on purpose.
I know. I did it because I figured we would be hitting the daylight savings.
Exactly. Hijacked it.
So we think we talked about this maybe way back in the early single-digit episodes. I think we hit on this once before, way back when. So my thought is that I'm not for or against daylight savings, but pick one and stay in it. Pick a lane and go with it. Go be like Arizona or Hawaii. Don't flip-flop back and forth every 5 and 6 months, whatever the increments are in between the two.
Oh, now it's 7 and 5.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's off. It's
because they moved it.
Exactly, yeah. So if you want to go daylight savings, great. Go and stay there. Or if you don't want daylight savings, great. Stay there. No back and forth garbage. I'm done with that.
Yeah, I can understand, because it does screw everyone up that doesn't know how to set their watches. They're looking
the
for
clock in their car. They're trying to figure out the button sequence to hit on there.
Yeah, because for either 7 months or 5 months out of the year, they got the correct time.
That's right.
The rest of the time, they're always off.
Yep.
So I'll give you that. But for me, it's I would always go with daylight savings, because I'm always a proponent of having light in the evening. Light in the morning doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't make any difference in my life. Having more light in the evening does, though, because that's when I'm up. I mean, in the morning, I'm not out barbecuing.
Right.
That's my thing. So I am a huge proponent of it is heaven for me. But I will give your argument some credence. Why have we chosen to flip-flop back and forth? I mean, what good is that? And all it does is cause us more issues, whether it's with Arizona or somewhere else around the world that doesn't deal with that. And then whether it's computers, all that kind of stuff,
right.
And then they change it, which takes an act of Congress, literally,
yep.
not as a euphemism.
Yeah.
It really does. So it's one of those. I don't know. It's fun fodder, though. People get. I just love the people. It's fairly simple to remember. Fall back, spring
that's
forward.
The funny thing is
how
people get confused.
Which way do we go?
I can't remember.
Yeah. And so I was listening to Pardon My Take last week, and they were telling people it was last weekend. So I guess Tom Coughlin did something. He screwed something up, and he got it off by a week, and so he was on daylight savings or vice versa for a whole week.
That's awesome.
It was funnier than hell. But anyway, yeah. So daylight savings, our PSA to everyone: set your clocks. Back.
Yeah.
Guess which one?
Back.
Chris
Berman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if Patty Mahomes is saying, here's the clocks back. Anytime I get to say that, I love
Yeah,
it. So.
good stuff.
Okay, since I hijacked yours, go ahead.
Yeah, you're going to have to run with this because I only had 2 freestyles and you stole
Really?
one. So I'm down to my
you
last.
had to know I was going
I know, yeah,
there.
I figured. Yeah, so I'm down to my last one now.
Okay, I've got a bunch of them.
Okay, cool. So my one and only that I've got now is your top 3 companies that you love to hate.
Oh,
just that drive you nuts.
Okay, yeah. So well, number 1, there's number 1 and 2. Actually, it's just 1 and 1, like A and A.
Yeah, I actually have like an honorable. I got 1 through 3 plus an honorable mention in there too because I couldn't quite narrow it down to 3.
You take off. Let me. You take off.
I'll start at the bottom with my honorable mention.
Okay.
Is Starbucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just terrible coffee. Is kind of pretentious.
They
people
just burn the hell out of it.
Exactly.
Except for
the blonde roast.
Yes, and I think we've talked about this off air before. I don't mind the blonde. But my issue with them is they are single-handedly responsible for pumpkin spice taking over my fall.
That's right.
And I just 15 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe even 5.
Nobody heard of it.
Well, you had it, but you had it for maybe 3 weeks.
But it wasn't like the mainstream thing. Now you're seeing memes online all over the place. Everybody's raving about pumpkin spice, that, and the other thing.
You've got pumpkin spice blankets.
Yeah, exactly.
What the hell do I need a pumpkin spice blanket for? I just have no use for that whatsoever. So, no, I'll give you that. And the other thing is you go there, you're damn near $7 for a cup of, one of their fancy coffees or something like that.
That is a good
boatload of money.
Yeah, it is.
Well, unless you get one that's a frappa cappuccino, half calf, recalf, decaf
with 17 pumps of chocolate.
Exactly.
In there.
It's like there's 1 thumb of coffee in there or a pinky full, and that's it. And it's like,
chocolate milk.
Exactly. It's like, oh yeah, I got $8 chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. No, and then so I'll give you that one. For me, McDonald's. I just hate that they make everyone, they trick people into thinking their food is good.
Well, because now they've got the new fresh, not frozen quarter pounder with cheese. They're trying to get on Wendy's bandwagon with
I haven't
fresh
seen
beef.
that.
Oh, that's their whole new thing.
No, the McRib is the biggest farce on earth. That is
the best barbecue
thing
in the world. What are you talking about?
Dude, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. No, it's a joke. And how people get excited about that. I mean, I know that it's this cult phenomenon or something like that because we went like 15 years. In fact, Brandon and I were talking about it the other day. Oh, the McRib's coming back. I'm like, son, it's just not a big deal. It's ketchup with honey in it and a little bit of other barbecue sauce. He's like, yeah, but it's a rib. I'm like, there is nothing ribby.
Processed formed pork patty.
Exactly. That they oh, look at that. I'm so fired up I can't even hold on to my pen. That they make it look like it's grilled and it's
got the spray painted grill line.
Exactly. They run that son of a bitch through Mako. It's like, I'll take 3 stripes on this one, but don't make them. They got to be a little bit off, so that the grill looks legit. So anyway. Yeah, no. So I'm going to go with McDonald's as number 3.
Okay, so my number 3, since Starbucks was an honorable mention,
these probably aren't going to be future sponsors of ours.
By the way, probably not. We're probably burning some bridges here.
Yeah, right. Napalm.
Yeah, and we're in good shape with number 3 because we don't have their products here in front of us. That would be Microsoft.
Oh yeah.
My big beef with them is that almost like a Starbucks. They just saturated the market like crazy with a poor product, and because they saturated it so heavily, they found enough stooges to run with it.
Yeah.
And so Microsoft, in their effort to make a quick buck, they always rush stuff to market without like beta testing it.
Right.
And then you've got 8 million bugs, and you've got to have all these patches and security issues, and just Microsoft is just a all-around terrible product.
Yeah, I was actually cursing them last weekend as Derek hadn't fired up his laptop in, I don't know, a month or something like that. And so he did. So I said, okay, I'm going to get it, updated. I spent, I'll bet you 3 hours between downloading updates, then running the antivirus and doing all that crap for a computer that hadn't been fired up in a month. That doesn't really do anything. It's just so we have a PC in the house, because there's some stuff that you just need a PC for. But yeah, no, it's that's my thing. It's kind of like news now. That's how Microsoft sells stuff. It's act first, think later.
Yeah, exactly right.
And then, oh crap, we got and that's what it was when I was downloading everything for the computer. there's security patches and updates for this, that. This thing, I got a new operating system last week. It uploaded, all the apps uploaded, and guess what? We run fine.
Yeah.
That's it. And I won't get another one. I'll probably get in a couple months, maybe an update to that. But not all these patches and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly, right.
Number 2 for me is Walmart. I cannot handle Walmart. I can't do it.
Yeah.
It drives me bananas to go in there. And I think it's not that they're not, because they serve, they have great prices, all that kind of stuff. I think it's because that they don't treat their employees well. And Jeremy, as you're watching, in fact, you said this on your Facebook the other day, you find good people and you pay the shit out of them, because then they'll give you what you pay them,
right?
Which is good work. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what you go in. It looks like everyone hates themselves that's working there.
Yeah.
And so in turn, my experience is poor because they don't want to be there.
Right.
So, I have, and, across the board, what they also do to small businesses, I'm a huge proponent. I'm a huge proponent of small businesses.
Yeah.
We all talk about that, and they go in and talking about napalm, they wipe out small businesses in the name of corporate profits, and so that the Waltons can fly around in their corporate jets, because not even at their headquarters is it very fancy. They're even cheap there. It's like a bunch of portables. But the Waltons are loaded.
Yep. Big time.
And so I have an issue with Walmart, and we had to go there one time this year because it was the only place near where we were, and we needed to get some stuff. Other than that, I won't go there. Yeah. And then, it's not against anyone that likes to shop there. That's your choice. You may not like to, go places I like. So it's, to each his own. Yeah. That's my number 2.
Number 2 for me is Google.
Really? Wow.
Just because...
The Google machine?
Yeah, just because of all the privacy violations and the manipulations of the algorithms and how they just... Basically the manipulation, bottom line, and then all the privacy leaks that can happen through there, and then the fact that they've taken over the world, that basically everything you touch in terms of online, any sort of search function, you're always, Google is the thing you go to every time.
Well, in the U.S. You got to understand that Alibaba and...
over in China.
Yeah, exactly. They have a corner on the market that's actually much bigger than Google's, because there's just, frankly, so many more people in China.
Yeah. So, I'd say Google number 2, primarily just because, as we've seen a lot recently, there's been a lot of exposés done on them manipulating search results and suppressing certain stuff and pumping up other stuff.
Oh,
yeah. So it's
absolutely. Yeah. That's the problem, though, is that who's their main competitor? Microsoft.
Yeah.
What, Bing?
Bing.
Really? You get what you pay for,
yeah.
And they don't have that good of a product.
Yep.
And Google has done what a good company does. They have made us rely on them.
Yep, absolutely.
And now they are so big that you damn near can't live without them. At some point, though, this is the battle that I'm interested in, is when Facebook gets into the search game. Because it's coming, I think. Mm-hmm. This obviously just what my little noggin thinks, but at some point there is going to be a battle of the titans between those two, because Facebook has what Google wants, and Google has what Facebook wants. They want to be in each other's backyard. Mm-hmm. And so I think at some point in time, they're not going to play well with each other. They haven't played well with each other to this. They're both... actually, I read a thing, was it yesterday or this morning, about your phone listening to you. So we're talking about Google mm-hmm. being in your business and all that. And so I learned something new, that we have to activate our phones, like, hey Siri, or don't talk to me like that, or okay Google, whatever it may be, to actively search for something. But that does not mean that our phones and our devices can't listen for things, and then the apps that have access to our microphones,
exactly,
then what they're doing is they're keywording their apps to listen for word combinations that they record. So then this is what happens. They're never going to sell that specific information, because they have a one-way street into your life. what they do is they go then to an advertiser or a potential advertiser, and they say, okay, you want to hit this demographic. Because that's what they do. They create demographic profiles for us based on the terms that we use. So then they sell the advertiser on the fact that that advertiser can reach us by our demographic profile. And so the article I was reading, and if I remember, I will put the article into the show notes for this. It was by a guy on Vice. He ran a test, I believe, for 5 days, twice a day. He had written out a bunch of keywords based on 2 topics. One was the jeans that he needed new jeans, like blue jeans. And another one was that his storage was running out on his computer. So he tested it, and he said within 24 hours, he was getting advertisements on his computer for those 2 things.
Wow.
That is crazy. But I talked to people anecdotally about those things happening. And so, it's just it's crazy. It's happening though.
Oh yeah.
And we're going to continue to see it more and more.
Because the other thing that's always brought up too is that they say that your phone's not listening to you, but how does it know that you're saying "Hey Siri" to activate it? So it has to be listening for you to say "Hey Siri."
Well, this is not based on that though. This is the app is. We give our apps permission.
Right.
So it's not that it's using Siri or actively listening to what we are searching. It's that it has keywords built into it, and since it has access to the microphone, it's listening for those combinations. And then it is delivering that back, and then that stream is coming back to us in the form of an advertisement. So that's the reason for that. So anyway, just a quick little story on that. My number one, IKEA.
I knew it.
IKEA.
When you said Walmart, I knew you were going to go to IKEA next. That's the natural progression.
For me, absolutely. Everyone's going to die in an IKEA someday because it's the Truman Show in a Swedish box. Okay, we're all in there, and not me because I don't go there anymore. In fact, my mom went there a few weeks ago. She asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, that's not going to happen because they're standing up there in all their little computers, their Swedish computers, with their meatball stick up their nose, and they are laughing at all of this because there's at all times in that store there's 78 people that have to piss, and there's no way they know where the bathroom is. No idea.
Yeah, that's a good question. A good comment because I don't know
never
where a bathroom's at.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got little kids. They're pulling a what's that? Daddy's Home or whatever, where the kid's on the toilet. What movie was that? Anyway, and you have adults, no idea where the facilities are, and they ate them nasty ass meatballs, and an hour later, you know that you're paying the price for that Swedish mess. The Swedish mess.
There you go.
It's a horrible place. And I've actually purchased there. I've spent money there, unfortunately. For many years, we had a set of bunk beds from them. And then one day, you ever seen the movie Step Brothers? Boom. I had 3 kids once, and I bought IKEA stuff, and now I've only got 2. One of them died. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry, that's not funny at all. But no, we did have that, and their instructions. Have you tried to put something together?
It's all pictures.
It's pictures, and they're stick figures. Yeah. It's like, really? He's like, hey, let's have our, because all those Swedish kids are so advanced, I guess, that's with their, their group classes and whatnot.
The most complex thing I think I put together from them was the bed that Annabelle has is a day bed. So it's got it's actually almost like a trundle bed. It's got the thing that slides out like a trundle with the second mattress underneath it. So you can have like 2 sleeping areas on it, and it's got drawers that pull out and all sorts of crazy stuff. So that one took a long time to put together.
I bet, because you had no idea what that picture was with a guy like this. What is he doing? What is that? So
that's right.
Okay, so
number 1 for me.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. I got so fired up on IKEA.
This is kind of a cheap way out of this because it's not an actual company, but it's something that I cannot stand, and it's a broad brush thing. Is the mall? anything
Just
to do with
the mall?
the mall, I hate. I will.
It's
it
the people,
literally has
isn't
been. And the jewelry store markup on everything, because it's a high rent district, so you're getting gouged everywhere you go. So I literally have not set foot in a shopping mall in probably 7 or 8 years.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you
Proud
kidding
of it.
me?
Proud of it.
Not even during the holidays or anything?
Amazon.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I actually... whoa, come back here.
I mean, for holidays, I have gone to like the standalone JCPenney or a Kohl's or a Bed Bath & Beyond or something like that. The standalone
Nice little
retail.
Saturday.
Yeah, you betcha. Depot.
Yeah.
The standalone retail boxes I've gone to, but no, an actual shopping mall, not in 7, 8 years at least.
I actually, from time to time, enjoy the mall. I will admit it. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not, and I know it probably doesn't surprise you.
You go there for a light jog?
Yeah, exactly. Nice little. I'm out there with the ladies about 9:15 in the morning, and we got to get our arms above our head.
Jazzercise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You should see my leggings when I jog. No, I don't mind the mall. It can be fun. The people watching is probably why I enjoy it. I actually, they've really changed the model of the mall, quote unquote, now, because it's so much outdoor stuff. It's the outdoor, standalone stores rather than everything inside. But you go down there and the kids, I can be get off my lawn guy. And with damn kids that need a backpack in the mall, that guy. But it is nice to have dang near everything that I may want if I want to get a shirt. This shirt. I got this shirt at American Eagle. It was nice. And then I went over to Sears. I bought a ratchet. You never know.
They're still there?
This was actually during that time. I talked about that on the show. But no, I don't know why. In small doses, and then Kim and I have every year, we go out to dinner. And I usually have...
Outback Steakhouse?
No.
Oh, come on.
That is not an option.
Oh, man.
No, I will go, maybe Red Robin, whatever. But then we'll go to the mall. Sometimes we'll go to, like, Clackamas or something like that. But I have a few cocktails to get me in the holiday spirit.
So you can get through the experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I am not typically a fan of the mall during the holidays. There are far too many people there, and the Washougal in me really comes out. But on a normal, like a rainy Saturday, I'm not going there in July.
Yeah.
Okay. But a rainy Saturday, you're not doing much. There's no real good games on yet or something. I got no problem. And See's candy is always a highlight.
That's
one thing you're missing out on is the See's candy, because it's the best candy around, dang near.
I always think, though, how long has that stuff been there?
Not long.
They get that stuff trucked in 3 months ago, and it's just kind of gathering dust?
No, that's high-quality candy, brother. That is good stuff.
You're a candy connoisseur now?
Oh,
is that what you're telling me?
No, when it comes
You're
to
the sommelier of candy? Is that what we're doing?
When it comes to C's, only because of my wife. Now, if you need a candy aficionado, Kimberly will bring you to whatever your heart desires. And if I'm ever in trouble, let me talk quietly so she doesn't hear. If I'm ever in trouble, C's is the quickest ticket out of the
big box.
No, it doesn't even have the 1 pound mixed milk chocolate. I know how to get out of the doghouse. That is definitely it. So.
Tia likes the butterscotch square thingies or whatever they're called.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Or others. Yeah, that's her favorite.
I've got to say that either the chocolate covered peanut brittle or the California, I think it's called California brittle or something, but it's milk chocolate and
avocado.
No, not milk chocolate avocado.
Well, California, I'm just.
Yeah, no, it's like a brittle type thing, and then they've got their. Every once in a while, I'm a fan of chocolate covered cherries. Let's run with this. What's your favorite candy? In honor of All Hallows Eve, and today's the Day of the Souls.
Are we talking like C's candy or candy in general? Like candy bar, whatever, that kind of thing? Number one, candy-wise, would be Heath Bar. Love me some toffee.
No, I love toffee.
Yeah.
The Heath Bar it's all right.
Yeah.
Toffee, though, I've got to say, I'm a huge fan of almond roca.
Oh yeah,
and that's
there you go. I
I
forgot about that. That's right up there with Heath Bar.
And they do an almond roca type thing at C's. It's milk chocolate, and I'm usually not a fan of nuts with my candy, but with the chopped up walnuts and that's some good stuff right there, brother.
Yeah.
What else? Give me another one.
Another one. Number 2, I have to say Butterfinger.
Really?
Well, you know what? I'll say number 2 and 3 could be interchangeable. Butterfinger or Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. I'm a big peanut butter guy.
Huge Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. In fact, last night I may have splurged on Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. Because
you ever gotten those like 1-pounders?
No. No, actually I don't like that because I prefer the bite-sized ones. Because the
chocolate to peanut butter ratio.
Peanut butter ratio
That's
is
what
absolutely perfect.
Yep.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. The best thing to do with them, though, make s'mores. You take, instead of a piece of Hershey's chocolate, you take a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup and the marshmallow graham cracker or the roasted marshmallow. That is a game changer.
That just blew my mind. I've never done that before, but that's a must
you
do
need
now.
to. You need to go home tonight and roast a marshmallow in your oven and put it in with a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
We got the gas cooktop over the open flame.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It will blow your mind. It is incredible. So yeah, no, that's
that.
What is okay? So let's just take it down to C's now. What's your go-to at C's?
You know what? I'm not that well versed in C's, so I like T has gotten the butterscotch thing that I told you about, which I like. Other than that, I don't know.
Okay. No, they do some pretty good. I like. You like chocolate covered raisins?
Like the Raisinets kind of thing. Yeah,
they do a high quality one of those. So I'm a big fan of those.
Some goobers.
Yeah. So I'm gonna we're gonna run with me. I want to talk a little bit about some college football coming up this week, and I thought we'd do a little Pac-12 talking.
All right.
So as I bring
seeing
it
as
up,
we were displaying 2 Pac-12 teams,
we are, and that's why as soon as I saw that with you, I was going to play. Let's break down some games. We've got the first one coming up for the Pac-12.
You've been listening to Dennis Miller, huh?
No, actually,
he does the NFL breakdown every week.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
I've listened to him.
Yeah, every game, but that's funny. I always break it down. He's a big NFL guy. Yeah, go ahead.
So we've got the first one coming up is Colorado at Arizona this Friday at 7:30 p.m. and Arizona is a -3, so they are favorite.
Really? I thought they'd be the dogs. Oh.
Going with Colorado?
I haven't been paying attention. They started off hot.
Isn't Colorado who the Beavers actually lost to? Hold on. I think the Beavers may have beaten Colorado. Hold the phone.
I think you're right.
They did. They
Which
beat
is probably
Colorado.
why they're now the dogs, because they lost
exactly.
to a terrible team like the Bees.
Watch your mouth.
But no, because Colorado, maybe I haven't been, and that's my weakness. They're
5-3.
See, that's what's throwing me off. I thought they were decent, so I'm surprised that they're underdog.
But Arizona's coming off a win against Oregon, who is a mighty overrated. Wow, we did that.
There it is.
We did that together without planning.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I gotta knuckles.
Yeah,
that was well done. That's
because we're experienced in the college sports realm here.
Exactly. They're showing their true not goodness.
Yep.
Not goodness. So so you're gonna take Colorado over Arizona?
Yeah, I think so. Even though they're on the road, yeah.
I'm gonna take Arizona. I think that what I saw given the fact that the Beavers beat Colorado and I saw what Arizona did at home, and this is the night game at 7:30 tomorrow night. I like Arizona at night. I think they're strong there. So we got we're gonna kick off Pac-12. Pac-12 on Saturday. We got Utah, number 16 Utah at Arizona State. 1 o'clock, and the line is Utah -7.
Yeah, I go Utes on that.
Me too. Although Herm has his days. He does practice.
I still can't believe that guy's a college coach.
I know, right? He should be a motivational speaker.
Yeah,
absolutely. So this is the game that we really want to get to: UCLA and Oregon. Oregon is -10.
Chip Kelly's return to the toilet bowl. Yeah, that is Autzen Stadium. Realistically, obviously Oregon, I think, will take it. UCLA has shown some sneaky goodness for being the 3rd youngest team in the country. They are all freshmen; they're all out there. Yeah. But anyway, Yeah, I would think I realistically would have to go Oregon, but I would not be surprised if UCLA pulls the upset.
Well, it's a tall order, but I'm going to have to go with Oregon as well. I certainly would not take the points, though. If we're betting the line, I'm going to probably go UCLA.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The over under at 63 that could get ugly.
Yeah.
So Stanford versus Washington. Washington minus 10. I would be all over Stanford in that game.
Yeah, if you're taking the points,
I would almost take Stanford straight up.
Straight up, ooh.
I think Stanford is an over or an underrated team.
I agree. Yeah, and then Washington had a little hiccup.
Browning is not doing well.
Yeah, I still got to go. Man, I still got to take UW on this.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. My Beavers at 2-6 hosting USC in primetime Saturday night. It's USC minus 16.5 with an over/under at 61. Considering the points that they both put up last weekend.
I'm taking the University of Spoiled Children.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
Not surprising at all. I will take my Beavers. I'm gonna say they can do it because USC, they have proven in the past, and Jonathan has been part of those. They can beat
Straight up. You factor in points in there.
No, I'll take him straight up.
Right.
I think they're rallying around Jonathan. We're nightcap there, 7:45 Saturday night, California versus Washington State.
The Bears and the Cougs.
Yeah, the Cougs are just going to demolish.
Yeah, them. Exactly. Because Cal's not doing so hot this year, so that should be an easy one for Wazoo.
Minus 9.5, but the over/under is only 50. I would
hit the over. Yeah.
The big one, though, this week is obviously what's kicking off at 5 o'clock on Saturday, and that's going to be Alabama-LSU. That's the game of the weekend. What do you think about that?
Bama.
At LSU, though?
Yeah.
Really?
Didn't LSU almost choke it last week?
Well, they have their moments.
Yeah.
They're 7-1. Alabama's 8-0, but Alabama at minus 14.5. That is a monster home dog.
I don't know about that.
Ed Orgeron at LSU is one hell of a motivator. They've got a dang good team. But, Alabama does have actually both sides of the ball this year, which they haven't every
Quick
year.
sidebar before I forget it, while we're on the football realm, even though I'm going to switch over to NFL, the game that's going on right now as we speak, the Niners-Raiders, the two one-win teams are playing each other in primetime. An interesting factoid, this could double as the HSF, is that for a primetime game, and this is statistically based, so when you look at the offensive yards per game, all the different metrics you go through, so you look at all that stuff and combine all that kind of stuff, statistically, this is the worst primetime football game in 50 years, 50 years.
Wow.
The two, and then as a side note, ESPN does their power rankings every week. And the Niners and Raiders are the bottom two teams in the NFL.
That is in no way surprising.
Yeah.
And what I love is that John Gruden kept going for weeks. Why don't we have a pass rush? Well, that Khalil Mack guy
would have helped out a little bit.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
He might have helped your team out a little bit. But like everyone's saying, he's stacking it all up for Vegas. Cashing all his chips and waiting or stacking all the chips.
Here's the sidebar: is he going to make it to Vegas?
Oh yeah, that contract. That's what it was all built for. I am certain that's what Mark Davis was thinking.
Yeah,
because he gave him $100 million contract. Absolutely,
the Lloyd Christmas haircut,
right? Oh man, Mark Davis, and he He loves Chili's or something like that. He goes and eats there damn near every night.
Flingers. Tchotchkes.
Exactly.
No, but I don't know. You think so? If Gruden keeps pulling off like 250 seasons or sub 500 seasons for the next 2-3 years, they're going to go down with the ship and just ride it out.
Yeah, because I think that they're going to make some trades, and they already have. With I think Carr's gone.
I think
that they're going to stack. They're going to try to pull, and they'll never do it, but they're going to try to pull a Patriots and get as many draft picks as they can and be ready for Vegas. I don't know that they'll ever do anything.
They can trade for Eli Manning.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would
if
be
they
amazing.
traded David Carr
for Eli
Manning,
that would be
and
awesome.
like one other, some obscure cornerback or something, and they're just, Mark Davis that is the most Lloyd Christmas haircut on a real person I've ever
So
seen
classic.
in my damn life.
What is it with billionaires and haircuts? You got Trump with the mop,
Yeah,
and you got Mark Davis with the bowl haircut. What when you make that much money, you can't afford a barber?
no,
is
it's
that what it
because
is?
they think that they look good. That's the problem. They think that it works.
With a cereal bowl
Have
haircut,
you seen
a Lloyd
most
Christmas
men-
haircut that's good.
No, men's inability. I mean, by and large, a guy does not. He's not. His hair game isn't that.
Well,
strong.
look at you. You're a dapper individual.
Here we go. What do you mean about my hair or what?
You don't have a bowl haircut, so I'm saying
No.
you know what's up.
Okay, but here's the retort to that. At one point, I used to have frosted tips. Probably wasn't the greatest look,
That's
but
still better than a bowl haircut, I think.
yeah, absolutely. But it just because somebody, a lot of those guys have people dressing him, and you would think that person at some point would be like, hey, maybe, take it up. Let's bring it up on the sides a little bit, or maybe, I don't know. But Mark Davis is and I highly recommend somebody, do a little research into the
Let's
guy.
take it from the bowl to the platter,
Right.
kind of thing. Look,
Exactly.
a little less sides.
But talk about somebody that marches to their own beat.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is Mark Davis.
Oh, yeah.
He really does. And, the most unlikely billionaire, and the only reason he's a billionaire is because of the value of an NFL team.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he's a different cat, for sure.
But Cuban's a billionaire. Cuban's got a decent haircut, so
Yeah, but
the message doesn't translate evidently to some guys.
Well,
I don't know.
I think that's a microcosm of society in general. You look at some guys and they're wearing, they've got the Big Johnson shirt on from 1994.
You bet.
And they're wearing that to a wedding. You always have that, like, everyone's in their suit and they're looking nice, and then you got the one guy over here and he's got the I'm with stupid shirt or something.
And Birkenstocks.
Yeah, and Birkenstocks with socks. Yeah, that guy. No, but no, it misses some guys, but they may be phenomenal, or they just don't care. I think that's what it really boils down to, because we all have that moment where we're just like, F it.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. But you try to keep it together to some degree. It's like having the comb over. You see guys that actually have a comb over, like they're like the what's his name in Kingpin, the Big Earn, Big Earn McCracken.
Well, the Don kind of has that going too.
Oh, not like Big
Donnie
Earn,
Trump. Not as
he does.
exaggerated, but yeah.
But there are guys that do that. Or, they have the spray paint hair.
Now, what I'm going to be interested in is that a dying thing? Is that going to go the way of the baby boomers? Do you ever see some 30-something guy now, when he gets to 70, is he going to have a comb over?
You very well.
Or is that style kind of going to go out with that generation, kind of just disappear?
See, hair is one of those things, though. We were watching that show Peaky Blinders, that's set in the early 1920s, and the haircuts that they have in that show, which it's a very time specific, period specific show, are a lot like what we have now with the high cut, and the hard line and stuff like that in the hair. So they do like fashion does. It just rotates.
Yeah.
But there's there's just a time when if you get the male pattern baldness, take that down, man.
It's right here, the widow's peak, right there.
No.
See,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the full tilt boogie. It's gone on the dome.
like Mr. Burns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take it all off, man. Don't rock the toilet seat. Look, okay?
the stripe going around the side.
Yeah, don't do that. I don't know. Own it.
There's a guy that I work with on the other side of the building that has the Mr. Burns thing down. The hairstyle and even his face is similar. It's just like the first time I saw him, I thought, you got to be kidding me. It's a real life Mr. Burns. Yeah.
Did you remember Mr. Coyle from Jim Tegard?
Yeah, that name sounds really familiar.
Yes,
yeah.
Yep,
I got him now. Yep.
I don't know how people talk like that. Is it like there's a flapper or something that doesn't work in the back of their throat? How is it that happens? I don't know.
Don't know.
Man, we can kill airtime like nobody's business.
This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be handy come election night.
Yeah.
We got 3 hours to fill.
We're gonna have.
We're gonna be chewing the fat for a while. Yeah.
Are you getting off early that day?
No, I'll work till.
Okay, because we're gonna have to have a the hell is that? We're gonna have to have a little pre-production meeting that night on some of the topics, and we're definitely gonna want to have some topics,
some freestyles to throw in there while we're waiting for stuff to go down.
Exactly, some non-political stuff that we're having with our tacos. And
yeah, so I can be over with the tacos like at 6:30ish, and we can. Yeah. Is that good enough?
6:30 somewhere around there. That'll be good. But yeah, we. So Tuesday, that is our only show next week because I am going to Las Vegas for, actually, I'm going to bring the microphone and the laptop, and Big Daddy Brian Kane and I forgot, we are going to broadcast. I don't know that we'll go live down there, but we're going to record a podcast while we're down there.
Cool.
So he's got the big pipe convention that we're going down for birthday, but there's a giant pipe convention down there, and if there's anyone that knows about pipes, and I'm talking not the wacky tobacco pipes, the
old school tobacco,
and his collection is incredible. I encourage you to check out his Instagram. I'll post his Instagram in the show notes because he has one hell of a collection. It's pretty. So if you're into tobacco pipes and stuff like that, I mean, from meerschaum to any of that stuff, he's an incredibly great resource, and he's his Instagram is full of stuff and information about it. So
you should post up on one of those sky bridges, like the homeless guy still in water, and do the podcast from there.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's right over the strip. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
Oh man,
we'll see. But anyway, so yeah, we're gonna. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if we're going to go live, but we are. I'll probably record some hits while we're down there and post them up. But we will be recording somewhat of a podcast because he's got a fairly large group of followers on YouTube as well. So
cool.
We'll have that. But yeah, Tuesday, join us 7:00 right here. We are going to have a lot of fun for the election, and we hope everyone has a wonderful weekend. It is Friday as you're listening to this, so enjoy that, rock and roll. And you have any big plans?
I don't think so.
No.
Well, doing an early birthday for my son Alton. He turns 2 next Wednesday, but my dad leaves town that morning, so we're doing an early birthday with my parents on Saturday.
Very
little
nice.
Birthday dinner.
Very, very nice. Well, I don't really have any big plans. We're I'm going to watch some football. I'm going to watch that Alabama game. I love SEC football.
Yep.
So, well, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. This has been Kinetic Chaos Podcast number 60. We thank you for watching and listening. We gone. There it goes. Facebook, thank you very much. I'll go up and hold on. Hold the phone.
Disconnect.
I'm so proud of myself that I remembered that.
All right, last reminder, guys, join us Tuesday, 7 p.m. for the big election night special. It'll be a lot of fun. See you then.
Hold on, let's get in tight.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Does it work on that?
Oh, look at that mug.